Well, that's it for St Vincent's and the Grenadines. Well, that's it for the Eastern Caribbean actually. So we are on our way to the ABCs, Bonaire and Curacao. We'll probably not make it to Aruba. And looks like we'll have a good 3-day trip to Bonaire. It's a little light at the moment, but it'll be around 12 to 20 knots most of the time, maybe up to 24, and off the quarter or behind. So pretty nice sailing.
Well, we're a quarter of the way to Bonaire, and unfortunately, although there's a bunch of beautiful islands along the way, like El Roche, they all belong to Venezuela, and with the current political situation and the level of crime, we are not about to stop there. So we've actually been driving away all the way from Grenadines to Bonaire and are not getting too close to Venezuela, trying to stay at least about 50 nautical miles off. That's one thing. The second thing is, none of our insurance companies will insure us if we go into Venezuelan waters. So unfortunately, it's a real shame. There's some beautiful islands, but we're going to have to give it a miss.
Morning's task overnight, the oven fell off its attachments.
Well, the way we fix the hinge of the gimbal is by good old araldite. I put araldite on the hinge and then put it back against this bit of cabinet, and then I screw it in, and it's looking very strong. So soon it'll be time to put the stove back on. The real strange feeling being just off the coast of Venezuela. It really feels like the Atlantic to me, where you're miles away from any safe harbour. But essentially this is. We can't see any land. Venezuela is about 50 nautical miles that way, but we can't go there. In any case, now that we are getting close to Venezuela, we've turned our AIS, our automatic identification system, off, or at least our transponder. We can see other ships, but other ships can't see us. But the chance of there being anyone out here that wants to rob us or anything like that is slim. Maybe 1 in 100, maybe even less than that. But as I said, don't get close to Venezuela, and just take every precaution you can. So we are. As we get close to Bonaire, we'll turn the AIS back on.
It's been a very pleasant day, just downwind, a little bit of surfing going on. And I just realised we feel that we're now pretty much downwind the entire way from here to Australia, give or take a few places. Yeah, so it should be very pleasant in the Pacific. Yeah, something special just then. We had a few visitors for dolphins, and then off on our starboard side here we saw a heap of fish just jumping like crazy. I can only imagine that something bigger was after them, possibly the dolphins, and then a heap of birds. So it's full of life out here. It makes me feel really good being on the ocean. Like the Atlantic crossing. Something else I noticed today is I'm less tired than yesterday. So we've been going just over 48 hours, and that also happened on the Atlantic crossing. So for some reason, and Phil said the same, our bodies just get used to the night shifts and catch up on sleep in the day.
It's our final morning as we head into Bonaire, and the sea states increased considerably. The wind's blowing anywhere between 20 and 23, regularly gusting up to 25. We've got 2 reefs in the main and we've reefed in the heady. Funny enough, Bonaire is only about 10 nautical miles that way, but you can't see it. The clouds just make it difficult to see anywhere far.
You don't look too impressed. Hey, green eggs in hand. Try. They're yummy. I tried. The lady let me try one at the stall because I've never tried them before.
What do they taste like?
Tastes a little bit like lily pilly. They look a bit like it, but they're huge. You'll like it because you like apple. Right. You don't like it? Love the little aquariums together around each of the lumps of coral. Very, very cool.
And the amazing part is it's just all underneath where we're mooring.
Ook in accepteren. Sommige mensen.
It's time to chill out. What a great spot.
So a little tip, if you're sailing into Bonaire, everyone on the boat has to go to immigration and show their faces with their passports. It's a little different to some Caribbean countries that are the opposite, where only the skipper is supposed to go in and the crew wait until the skipper has officially checked into the country. So we left Aiden on the boat and had to make a separate trip back into immigration. It's a lovely place to make trips and go walkies. We're on the road now. First stop is a lake with lots of flamingos, or possibly a scuba spot, and definitely going up to the national park today. First stop is 1,000 Steps dive site. It's one of the top dive sites here in Bonaire, and apparently the first bit is fairly shallow, stag corals, that kind of thing, so hoping Aiden's going to jump in too.
This is Lake Gotomir at the northern end of Bonaire. It's home to a flock of flamingos, something that we haven't yet seen in the wild.
This is how folks around here do a fence with cactus.
Those cactus fences are good security. Nobody would jump over them.
Since we are actually in the Netherlands, it seems appropriate to see these windmills here. No worse than Monty.
Couldn't surf this.
It's no rougher than Bronte Beach.
Some people would.
This reminds me of the colours in Mallorca. Although you wouldn't want to anchor in these colours. Diving.
Breakfast, seahorse, what do we have else? Burrow eel, lobster, but also shrimp. So you're gonna have a fun time.
Cool.
know if you need a hand.
The Elvis string.
Yeah, that's the logo.
And now we're off to Curacao.
If you like this video, please click like below and subscribe to follow our adventures.